guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela here. Now today I'm taking you guys tomb sweeping with me here in Taiwan. What exactly is tomb sweeping day here? What do you do? Now the word tomb sweeping, it's actually sweeping tomb in Chinese, translated into English it's called tomb sweeping, and in Chinese it's actually called Qingming. That the people down south love being hospitable and have their entire tea sets ready for you guys. So just pretend that you're drinking tea while I let you know all about tomb sweeping day. So in the West, we have days like Easter, Christmas, Halloween, New Year's. Now in Taiwan, we have a day called tomb sweeping day. Now tomb sweeping day is basically a day where we pay respect to our ancestors, to our deceased loved ones. Now there are many traditions and taboo things that you guys should be aware of. I know a lot of foreigners and ABCs, including myself, we have questions about what should we do, what should we not do, and we have no clue because even locals like my own parents, half the questions I asked them for this video, they did not have any clue. One of the fun traditions that they do here for tomb sweeping days is that they have hard-boiled eggs and they will crack it on top of the graveyard to symbolize life. Or there are other games where the eggs, they'll put them down the stream and you're supposed to catch the egg. Now these traditions are probably very ancient because I actually don't know anyone who has actually done it, but I've heard of them. And then there are kites, where people cut the kites and then the kites are supposed to fly off, which symbolizes good luck. Now back in the day when your loved one was in a coffin, they'd be buried underground. Now 10 years later, what they would do is they would reopen the coffin and reorganize the bones, clean the bones, tidy the bones up and put them in an urn. And then they would re-renovate the entire graveyard and then give that urn a new place to stay at. Nowadays, people here in Taiwan don't do that anymore. They did do it back in my parents' days. They did it with their parents and their grandparents. The word tomb sweeping day is actually the other way around. So actually in Chinese it's called sweeping tomb day, Qingming Jie. Now Qing means to clean. So you'd sweep the graveyard, the tomb, make sure it looks nice for the other neighboring tombs to come over and party later after we all leave. Now Ming means clear, bright, because usually for tomb sweeping day, it is in early April, around the 4th or 5th of April, springtime. Now actually, originally this day did not exist. It was actually originally called Cold Food Day, Hanshi Cold Food Festival. Yeah, Cold Food Day. Now on this day, you're supposed to eat cold food. Now here in Taiwan, a popular cold food is called rinbing. It is basically like a non-fried spring roll here that the locals eat. I guess for me, I would call it a Taiwanese style taco. Okay, so when you get there, you need to bring fruits, you need to bring joss sticks / incense, and gold paper money. Well, it's not actually gold, it's yellow. And then what you can also bring is also rectangular grave paper. The gold paper money is basically spiritual money for your ancestors to use in their afterlife to buy things. I guess they shop. Make sure you burn a lot for me to shop. And in the yellow grave paper, what you do is that it's rectangular and quite long, and then you're supposed to put it on top of the graveyard, on the grave, and like 4 or 5 of them stacked together, and then you put a stone on top of it. Basically, it's to repair the roof of the graveyard of your ancestors, and so that it's like they have a new home every year. So once you get there, you tidy the grave, you sweep the grave, and you give them flowers. Flowers like lilies, chrysanthemums. These are the more popular and widely accepted flowers. And then you bring your food. You can burn your paper money in that big thing next to the tomb. Then you light up the joss sticks, and then in the order of seniority, so whoever is the more senior family member, they take the lead on doing everything, and they say the prayers. Now when you're saying the prayers, you're supposed to say hi. Well, okay, maybe not hi, but you're supposed to say, oh, Angela is here. You're supposed to say your full name aloud, so then the deceased, your ancestors, know who exactly is coming to pay their respects. So you should go in the mornings. It's not recommended that you go late in the afternoon or late at night, because then the spirits could potentially follow you home, and you don't really want that. You want them to just stay there. There are also 3 kinds of people that should not go tomb sweeping on this day: pregnant mothers, very young toddlers, and the unwell. Like, so if you're not feeling well, you shouldn't go, because then you're weaker, and then it's like, I don't know, it's like maybe the spirits could, you know, get onto you, piggyback on you, and go home with you. Yes, avoid bright colors, so no red, no neon colors. It's not accepted here. So as you can see, these are my dark clothes for today. No makeup. So now, the way you dress, you should make sure you're well covered, because you don't want to entice these spirits. You don't want to take them home. Now, what are some ways that you can make sure you ward off these spirits, unwanted spirits, evil spirits? After, when you go to a cemetery, what you should do is you should go to a crowded place, like a market, so then when the ghosts follow you, then once they get there, they'll be like, wow, there's so many people, and there's so much to do here, and then hopefully they get distracted and stop following you, or they just follow someone else. Another thing what you can do is, once you get home, is you take a bath instantly once you get home, and then it'll wash away all kind of spirits. Also, what you can do is you can step over a small fire. In this day and age, it's quite difficult to, you know, just start a fire on the street, on the roads, and step over it, because you most likely will get in trouble if you start a fire and step over it. So I don't recommend that. Also, make sure you do not buy shoes on this day. No shopping for me. No shoe shopping for me today. Because the Chinese word for shoe, it sounds very similar to the Chinese word of evil. Also, make sure don't step on neighboring tombs. It's considered rude. Don't point. Make sure you're quiet, no laughing. And lastly but not least, don't forget to pay respects to the earth god. Now, who is this earth god? The earth god is the caretaker of the graveyard. They will make sure everything's in an orderly manner. And so make sure after you pay respects to your ancestors, you also say thank you to the earth god right next door. As you can see from the video, right next to our family tomb, there's like a little tomb right next door. That's the earth god that you're supposed to pay respects to as well. So another thing is that once daughters have been married, once they're married off to another family, then they're no longer part of the original family, and they should never ever come back to sweep their family's tomb, because then it's considered bad luck for the rest of the family members, your first cousins, second cousins, everyone. So that's it for today. So I hope I answered a lot of your questions, or at least some of your questions that you have about Tomb Sweeping Day here in Taiwan. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know in the comments down below, and I will do my best to figure them out and answer them for you. So what do you think about Tomb Sweeping Day here in Asia or in Taiwan? Is there anything similar in your culture? Alright, see you guys next week. Bye! I hope I didn't scare you guys too much too.